Well, welcome everybody to the Copper Box in Stratford, London. It's WBBL game day. It's London Lions versus the Cardiff Met Archers. I'm with Coach Mike Hansen. Mike, another big game, especially for London Lions after the loss last week.
Yeah, I mean, it's how you respond, right? 52 games undefeated domestically, take that loss. What is the response from this London team going to be? It's something we haven't been able to see. And obviously Cardiff trying to bounce back off a tough loss against the Leicester Riders yesterday in the league.
Spoke to both coaches before the game. First, let's listen to Coach Steph Collins of the Cardiff Met Archers. Okay, I'm with Coach Steph Collins of the Cardiff Met Archers. Steph, welcome to the Copper Box. How's the team? How are you feeling after last night's game versus Leicester?
Yeah, we've had to, get up early this morning and pick ourselves together. So, it was a difficult game yesterday. We didn't quite find our flow, and I felt like, overall our performance was inconsistent. And when you have inconsistency with, the second place team in the league, you're going to fall to their feet. So, I hope the girls can come out with some fire in the belly today. Obviously, London Lions are, they had their first loss last weekend. So, after that long streak. So I'm sure they're going to be coming out gunning today. So I think it's just important for us to focus on ourselves, see if we can execute, both offensively and defensively, and put up a good fight.
And you've already played London Lions twice this season, more recently in the trophy at home. Any special plans to try and deal with the threat from London Lions?
Yeah, I think we just got to make sure that we play aggressively, assert ourselves. I think that's the biggest thing for us. Defensively get after it and make sure we secure all the loose balls. And
you were part of Coach Pachetta's team, coaching team for the GB women for the Eurobasket. Massive congratulations from the whole country for qualifying. Just speak briefly about your experiences there.
Yeah, fantastic to qualify because obviously we were up against it with the way the window was working. We had dropped some games, obviously dropped that heartbreaker in Estonia. Yes. And then obviously on the road that last window when we were in Portugal, got the overtime thriller and then lost to Greece. But, just the way the team pulled together in Manchester, we probably had our best week of training that we had in the past several years. So you could just see everyone was locked in, everyone was focused and knew the job that needed to be done in order to qualify, and I think they stuck to the game plan and they did that perfectly. Well, from the whole of GB, congratulations and good luck for the tournament. And Steph, good luck today. Thank you. Coach, quite a week last week against Caledonia Gladiators. Can you just talk briefly about that and the week you've had since?
Yeah, it was a tough loss emotionally, mostly because, didn't cost the first place or something really, really important, but of course it's really hard to lose. However, I think we just practiced for 2 days, so it was normal that we are a little bit confused, overthinking, so we got out of rhythm, but I find it something really normal. This week we worked really well. We try to build from the beginning the way we want to play. Girls worked really hard all the week, so hopefully starting from today we are going to put this in our game and improve every day.
And the game plan for Cardiff Met Archers today, they've played last night against Leicester, similar to how Caledonia Gladiators, their same schedule. What's the plan for Cardiff?
What we need to do is be really aggressive in defense and run a lot in offense. We really want to score on the first 8 seconds of the game. Then when we are back on defense, we want to be aggressive, press a lot on the ball, try to push them out of their timing and their spacing, and just keep the music going, just keep the flow. Yeah. That would be great if that can happen today. And just one other question: a week on, another week. How's life for you settling into life in British basketball? I'm still trying to find my rhythms, but I like it. There's a lot of job to do, and this is why I'm here for to work. So I'm really satisfied about this week, and hopefully it will get better and better. Okay, thanks very much, Stella. Good luck for today's game. Thank you very much.
Well, that was both the coaches speaking with us, and Coach Steph Collins' first really tough road trip for them here from Cardiff, travelling up this morning. What sort of message do you think she's going to be giving to the team pre-game here?
I think it's about trying to find that success from the first game. Obviously, that they played 10 days ago, and it was a London 50-point win, 55-104, but it was that first quarter 33-2, so it was never really a contest at that point. But when they played each other in the league just before Christmas, it was 71-86. Cardiff won the second half in that game, so it's going to be trying to find those consistencies, and that's really looking after the ball. They actually outscored Lions from points from turnovers. It's something we never see. Even last week we didn't see that, and it really starts with Isabel Bunyan, I think, and what she brings. Another young Brit, obviously not part of that senior squad yet, but we'll see with the juniors before she goes to Montana State, and the length and the athleticism that she can match up with these Lions wings.
Yeah, and she's leading the league in blocks, which is amazing. 2 blocks a game. We'll keep a close eye on her and some of the other new players that are in at Cardiff Met Archers as well. And over to London Lions, they need a professional performance. Coach Stella said pre-game she wants the team to run, play tough defence and run and get as many scores as they can within 8 seconds.
Yeah, and the person perfect to do that is Taylor Murray. She pushes the ball so well in transition. That's her game. She wants to get out, get runs, and Taylor obviously creates that transition with her defence as well, with the steals and the on-ball pressure. And her and Psyche, that matchup will be terrific. And we'll see if London can get some going early, because obviously the downfall last week was that opening quarter.
Yeah, they will be ready, I'm sure, today. And 2 of the players that are playing today, Taylor Murray and Shannon Hatch, All-Star 5 selections, because Cardiff Met Archers had a good win against Durham before they played last night, so they can be very dangerous. They're in 8th spot. They're fighting for their lives to get into the playoffs. And Taylor Murray, with the big performance against Cardiff Met Archers in the midweek game with the trophy, getting her selection.
Yeah, indeed, and that win for Cardiff is the type of win that gets you into the playoffs. Obviously, you probably don't want to be the 8th seed and have to come here in the playoff quarter-final, so they'll be trying to get up to 7, and it's going to be super competitive for Cardiff, and we'll see how they bounce back, because obviously we saw it last week. Team plays Leicester on Saturday, loses, rolls up at the Copper Box 12:30 on a Sunday afternoon. Can they do what Caledonia did and upset the Lions once more?
Well, that was the most dramatic of games last Sunday, and it was a pleasure. We were all here, and I think we were quite stunned by the end of it, but maybe it's what's required from London Lions. Starting 5s, Cecina, Winterburn, Herbert Harrigan, Murray and Stewart, starting as Amy Stewart, of course part of the GB team, which Steph Collins spoke about, and Holly Winterburn. And on the Cardiff Met Archers side, Yunka Seki, Bunyan, Marchisotti, the Argentinian, and Shannon Hatch, who is leading this team, points and rebounds. She's sensational. And the first score, simple as you like, Holly. Winterburn, they want to get off on the front foot and score quickly, Mike.
Yeah, now something that you can see, Cecina lined up, sprinted as soon as the ball went in the air to catch Cardiff off guard.
Bunyan to Hatch, and the 3 is good.
Yeah, and Hatch 33% from downtown, leading score for the Archers, so she's going to be big for Cardiff if they can get going early.
Herbert Harrigan and Buzz Bunyan coming in with a deflection.
Out of bounds, London.
Yeah, and I think obviously you touched upon Azania starting as well. The one thing with the Lions, obviously they've got the 5 non-Brits on the roster. They have to rotate that through. It's Paulina Hurstler sitting out today, so we'll see Cecina back in the lineup. Obviously she didn't play last week, so that's the rotational change that Lions have gone with today.
Yeah, and that's something they've just got to manage, isn't it? They've got the ability with their finances to have the overseas players. They've just got to make sure they've got the right amount. Yeah,
obviously in the lineup, and they've been rotating through constantly in the last month since Leslie arrived, replacing obviously Kennedy Leonard in that stuff as our table officials, just working through something. I think it's the shot clock. It looks like it's held at 24, so I wonder if it's just a little bit stuck.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll get that sorted.
Yeah, obviously a refereeing crew now just getting together. But yeah, Shannon Hatch, we talked about it in the off the rip, being the leading score for the Archers, 18 points a game. Dropped a little bit since Christmas. It was 20 coming in just before the Christmas break, dropped. But she's so deadly on all fronts. She's similar to what we see in the Lions wings, that she can score at the rim, mid-range and the 3 as well, and it's really tough to cover.
Yeah, and last night 17 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. She's just relentless with what she's giving Cardiff Met Archers, back for her 3rd season, and exactly what Coach Steph Collins would have wanted. So Herbert Harrigan inbounding Taylor Murray, her and Shannon Hatch All-Star 5. Azania Stewart momentarily had it, but had to get it away, and Azania and Izzy Bunyan with another deflection. That's 2 quick deflections for her active hands, as you talked about pre-game, Mike. And now she's up against Cincina, one of the European basketball royalty, and she's wide open for 3, and it's good. Nothing but net.
Yeah, and that's the person, if you want line shooting the ball, it's her or Kiki. Cincina 38 from 3 this season, so shooting a great clip and a good start for Lions as Psyche steps on the sideline, I believe.
And this is exactly what Coach Kaltsidou would want. She'll want the London Lions players to dictate the game, because last week it was very much back and forth who was in control.
Yeah, and you do that from minute 1, same as they did in that trophy quarter-final 10 days ago. Try and jump out early and not give Cardiff any hope.
And there's plenty of hope with Winterburn assisting to Cincina. That's 2 threes, nothing but net in perfect rhythm. Bunyan, this is going to be another big step in her development. Shannon Hatch with the quick release and possession to the London Lions.
And the Lions a little bit more physical, a bit more intense on defence today. Last week it was a little bit slow, like they were unsure, and you kind of heard Coach Stella talking about that in the pre-game. It's just trying to build on that system, try and change the change they wanted to make.
And that's 3 from 3, and they are on fire, London Lions. Kiki Harrigan just knocking it down, and they're looking really sharp. Hatch just misses, but again, she's wide open.
Yeah, another good look, but here's Murray on the push.
And exactly what Coach Kaltsidou would want. London Lions back at the forefront of British women's basketball, forcing the timeout from Cardiff Met Archers.
Yeah, and that's a great timeout by Steph. Like, they've not got to stop yet. Everything's wide open. It's in transition. It's stuff that you can control.
Yeah.
You know who the shooters are with Cincina, with Kiko Herbert Harrigan. You know their shooters. You don't want to let them open. That's what they've done on the first possession. So good time to really talk it over and try and regroup.
Yeah, she spoke about, before we did the interview, they'd had the coach journey this morning, leaving early, playing last night at home against Leicester. So they're playing the first and second team in the league back to back. Same as Caledonia Gladiators did last weekend, and we know how that finished up. But maybe sometimes a bit of lactic acid, your body, maybe part of your mind is still on the bus ride. Maybe this is going to bolt them into action. Yeah,
and I think that was the difference with the Caledonia schedule. Obviously being in Leicester, they could come down. They came down Saturday night, stayed over. Yeah. Cardiff, I think, left at 6:30, 7 o'clock this morning, which is never ideal on the back-to-back, but that's still going to be no excuse for what the things that they can control are, and that's stopping the ball, finding the shooters, and that'll be the fix now, and you've got to do it now. If not, this game's going to get away from you. It could be a very long afternoon.
Yeah, agreed. And Steph was making no excuses, absolutely. It's just part of the job. It's part of playing at this level in this country, the top level of women's basketball. But it's great to see, and we talked about Izzy going to Montana State and Caris Roy being on the roster today, another young player, but she's going to be going overseas as well next year. So again, Cardiff's job this season and next season, have a good year this year, but then they've got to recruit again really smartly and find the next young British talents.
Yeah, Caris obviously in kit today, starting to warm up, which is a great sign off the back of ACL surgery. So I think she might even be a little bit ahead of schedule. It's great. Sad she's missed this season though for the Archers.
Hatch. Margisotti, she needs to get to work now against Azania, and Azania doing enough, having her hands high up.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun battle. Margisotti on the bigs.
Murray to Holly Winterburn. Going to Eurobasket with GB. Penetrate kick, open shot is good, and I tell you what, is Cincina going to miss today?
Well, not if she's wide open every look. There's another, but that one was a bit more creative. Off the pick and roll, round the hard hedge, and Winterburn with a terrific find.
And Izzy Bunyan not able to make that, and now Winterburn. And that was passive defence there, back there.
Yeah, but the one person you probably don't want in the open court, Holly Winterburn, she can go to that up and under, she can go to either hand. It's another terrific finish by Winterburn, and 15-point game already.
Yeah, and they're following Coach Kaltsidou's instructions and comments. Bunyan left hand layup is good. Again, not much reaction there from Lions on that defence, but good play for Bunyan.
Yeah, and that switch is the one Cardiff want. Bunyan on the Azania, obviously the experience, but not as athletic anymore, unfortunately, and Bunyan's a really tough cover for anyone, so is able to get to that left hand and finish under control.
Marchesotti coming out.
And Habling's really been an unsung hero of this Cardiff team in the first season, kind of filled in. Marchesotti's been in foul trouble all years, averaging 3.5 fouls a game, so she's had to step up and play a lot of 5 for Steph and the Archers.
Harrigan. And these girls, these young women are just nailing every shot for Lions.
5 of 5 from downtown in 4 minutes.
Yeah, this is a statement game. We had a feeling this might happen, that Lions would want to bounce back big time, and they're doing that at the moment. Seiki, under pressure. Nice, good attempt pass, but no angle there for that little inside pass. Harrigan attacks. And this is going to be really tough for Met Archers. She went straight through 2 of the defenders. There was just not enough reaction there, Mike.
Yeah, just late to try and square up to the ball. That's number 1 rule, transition defence, find the ball and protect the basket, and they didn't. And then Herbert Harrigan's not the type of person to miss an open layup, and not a ton of contact on that, but just enough to deflect it. And yeah, right now Lions running right, 24 points in 4 minutes is going to be it's going to look like that Sacramento LA Clippers game from the other night in the NBA where we had a 350 something points scored.
Yeah, 176, 175, something like that, double OT. I mean, yeah, but this is what happened when they played in the WBBL trophy down in Cardiff.
Indeed, and
which was Coach Kaltsidou's first game. She wasn't fully running the bench, I don't think, that game, but she'd officially taken over, and they just blew Cardiff away in the first 10 minutes. And there's nothing easy at all for Met Archers as Psyche misses that into the corner. Back to Winterburn. Harrigan lets it go, and this is just simple basketball.
Yeah, it's that ball movement. It's the Holly Winterburn, great shooter, open. I can get a better look.
Yeah.
Drive, collapse the defence, kick it out. And Kiki Herbert Harrigan, probably the most underrated part of her game, and it's difficult to say anything's underrated about her game, but she's shooting 49% from 3 on the season, 2 of 2 to start.
Yeah, and the piece they do on when they've interviewed Harrigan, she says, I'm a really good shooter, as Winterburn catches underneath. 2 bigs, 2 strong there for Juncker.
And I won't go into too many details, but that's a new set they have been looking at in practice this week that they got Winterburn in, so good execution out of the lines on a new play.
Nice back cut, help there, but good finish there by Lansaki. Yeah, Kaltsidou just spoke openly saying we want to score within 8 seconds every time, and pretty much at the moment, and they want to get out in transition as much as they can, and it's all coming together for them. And Harrigan, no hesitation, off left.
Oh, we have a missed shot, Graham.
Whoa.
Lions are human.
They're human after all. Winterburn, she misses, but rebounds correct, all mistakes. And Harrigan will go to the free throw line.
Oh, we're going to miss a shot, so I know. We'll just offensive rebound our own miss and end up on the free throw line. So it's going to potentially be another perfect trip for Lions. I think it's also the second foul on Bunyan.
Yeah, which is a real problem. It's going to be tough for Steph to manage this game, isn't it? And it's almost already gone. If London Lions can continue at this pace, it's going to be very difficult for Cardiff Met Archers to cope.
Yeah, and I assume this will be for Bunyan. Indeed it is. It's Laura Shanahan checking in, and change for the Lions as well. Yeah, Murray's taking a breather.
Lions fans, keep the energy going.
And of course Volpal can come in, so not much drop off there. EuroLeague player before she came across to Lions, another decent pickup.
Yeah, and that Euro Cup experience to add in, obviously losing Leonard, replacing with Volpal. Not quite like for like. Volpal, very similar to Murray though in terms of the way they played, defensive minded guards as well that really look to move the ball.
2 shots coming.
Yeah, and that's the patience from Psyche. He just that little hesitation, just throws the defence, got battle in the air. We'll see it on the replay here. And just coming from behind, reaches in, and then suddenly Psyche shooting, and an easy call for the officials.
And some much needed respite for Cardiff Met Archers to get on the line and get on the board. But Lauren Psyche, a good pickup for Cardiff. Good credentials through college and putting up some big numbers along with Shannon Hatch for this team.
Yeah, the UC Irvine graduate, second year, was going to come with the COVID year and end up staying that extra year, so would have been a third year, but sat out that first year as a pro, like so many people had to.
Yeah, and life has now gone on, and to have everything back with arenas, with spectators and Harrigan. And she does that so, as well as shooting a three. I'm really impressed with the way she creates space and is very powerful underneath the hoop.
Yeah, physical, tough, not going to take prisoners. And that matchup with Hatch, really like for like, but you can just see her just bump, and then gets Hatch on that fake. The left arm comes down, and then obviously the patience and the skill to finish with the contact. Second and one opportunity of the afternoon. And Harrigan already at 16 points.
Yeah, she's just all business. This is like complete focus from Lions. It's another week with Coach Kaltsidou in as well, so everything's not feeling so new, I guess, today. Mike, they can go about their business. You were eyes on the wall, maybe, the fly on the wall at one of the practices, which must be a great experience to watch a high-level coach, as we watch Psyche just leaning to her left and missing, but high-level coach running a practice with a really high-level team.
Yeah, and obviously it's a great partnership we've got between Lions and University of East London, and obviously be able to just drop in from work, lunch break, go watch the practice is never a bad thing. But Lions again, another offensive rebound as Vorpal fighting for it.
Yeah, Psyche collects. They just need to try and get a foothold in this game.
I think that was the first empty trip for the Lions as well. First time we haven't got points off it.
Yeah. That's right, if they'd missed, they were getting offensive rebounds, and good job by Joseph. And Volpol missed one, but now she makes one and gets fouled.
Yeah, and again, Lions getting steal, that allows them to get out in transition. It's the easiest way to get out in transition is live ball. And again, another great finish with the contact by Volpowers. Juncker was just coming in a little bit too late. And Lions back to the line yet again with a host of changes as well, as Steph Collins just trying to find anything that works right now to get a stop on the defensive end. Yeah,
and it is almost Groundhog Day this first quarter. It's actually Lions are going to score an extraordinary amount of points. They're heading to 40 points in a quarter.
Yeah, we had 175 in double overtime in the NBA with 12-minute quarters. We might get Lions on pace for 175 in 40 minutes at the moment.
Bunyan pull-up J is just off, but Marchesotti with Volpol trying to box her out. No match there.
Yeah, Marchesotti's huge on the glass, and anything inside 3 foot is really what you want from your 6'3" centre. She can take that all day and obviously just keep the scoreboard ticking. But it's this end where Cardiff need solutions. Yeah, the scoreboard is ticking over a little, maybe a little bit slow, but you're still on pace to do something. But giving up 37 is the issue. So we'll see if they can string some stops together. And obviously with Bunyan on those 2 fouls, she's going to have to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. She's going to have to just move her feet, get in possession. She doesn't want to play passive, because if they do that at all, London Lions are just going to rip right through them.
Indeed. Even with this, what you call secondary unit.
Yeah. Battle. Shanice Beckford-Norton knocks down that mid-range jump shot, and that's really good to see for another one of the GB national team stars.
Yeah, and I'm sure Steph saw that over and over again in practices. Shaquila Joseph and Shanice Beckford-Norton was in that last window.
A nice job by Bunyan, just showing her range. You mentioned about her defence, which we've seen on block shots, now knocking the 3 down, Mike.
Yeah, it's been a part of a game always under development as Beckford-Norton on the off the weak side.
Yeah, and just missed that. She needs to make that, and Shaquila misses as well. Super movement without the ball. Just couldn't get the finish, neither her or Joseph. Met Archers now, Bunyan, underhand, no good. Every shot contested pretty much. No look pass. Good catch from Battle and the finish. That's great play and exactly what Coach Kaltsidou wants.
Yeah, 3-on-2 in transition. Pass a little bit overthrown, but Battle, so athletic, does a great job bringing it down.
And she gets the steal off the deflection from Cincina and Beckford Norton. They're outrunning, outplaying.
And that's one you'll see on the highlights. That's Kennedy Leonard-esque. It's that patience, draw the defender and just make a diamond as easy as you like for Battle again as Beckford Norton flying into the passing lane.
Yeah, we're seeing the best of London Lions here, and Cardiff Met Archers just cannot stem the flow of offence. But it's not just offence, the defence is really impressive as well.
Yeah, and that's always been their bread and butter, is that defense intensity, forcing steals, getting out, being able to get out in transition. As Chantel Charles getting the first action. And this is, again, the depth of this Lions team. This is all 5 players that didn't start that are in kit. Yeah. And you've got 2 GB internationals in Joseph Beckford Norton, experience with Vopal from Euro Cup. It's so deep.
Yeah, and Chantel, a future, well, a star, but also a future GB star.
I mean, yeah, she had
potentially,
and she's had call-ups in the past. And Joseph misses the layup, and that's probably with Joseph. It's the one area of the game that is a little bit inconsistent. Is she seems to blow the easy layups and sometimes makes the difficult ones.
Yeah, gets the rebound there, kicks it to Vorpal. Sidestep, and Vorpal gets in the action with a free throw line jump shot.
Yeah, and again, just an open look, and that's the difference. Is Cardiff are taking contested looks. Everything Lions seem to be getting is open, even the ones they've missed.
Bunyan. She picks up her dribble. This is open, and it's just off left.
Rebound Charles.
Shot clock still running. There you go, managed to turn it off in time.
Battle.
As Charles with the offensive board. Shot clock turned off.
And Vorpal left to the left and off. But they got a decent look there, Lions, and that is one heck of a first quarter. Catch your breath, everybody. After losing their 52-game win streak last week against the Gladiators, the Archers are in town and they're 45-13 down, Mike.
Yeah, and it was an offensive clinic, wasn't it? Open looks early for the shooters, get out in transition, get 2 for 1s, 3 for 2s, and you see it there on the graphics. You're shooting 83% from 2, 75 from 3. That's how you get all those points. And obviously the last few points haven't updated yet through the stats, so we've got an extra 3 to add on to that as well. But even the looks that they've missed are wide open. I mean, were we talking a 55, 60-point quarter that Lions left on the board?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. This is exactly what Coach Kaltsidou wanted. I think you can see today completely clear messages to the team.
Yeah, for sure, and it's so precise in what they're doing. It's not difficult, it's not complex. It's just push the ball and then find the open play and play out of the advantage that they've created. And that's what you see here on the highlights again. It's finding open shooters. That driving kick by Winterburn was off the pick and roll, and she did a terrific job. And Cincina again, going to make no mistake.
The party started, didn't she?
Yeah.
And she's one of the top players in Euro Cup history for scoring. She's gone past the 1,000 points barrier. Only the 5th or 6th player to do that. So you give her open looks, then Harrigan going to the basket. So you take away the jump shot, they're going to hurt you all the way at the rim.
Yeah, and it's just really clinical. And if you're Cardiff, this game's done. You're not going to come back from 32 against Lions. No. If you stay in it, you can do it. So now it's about growing. It's about getting a response and learning and be able to take something across. Because as we said, this could be the 1v8 playoff game. It is part of a very odds are if Cardiff make the playoffs, it's going to be the 7 or 8.
Yeah.
London, if they're going to be in the playoffs, they're going to be the 1 or the 2. Obviously tied with 1 loss with Leicester Riders so far in the league.
Yeah.
So now it's trying to find solutions in case this is a matchup late in the season, and also having some confidence coming away from the end of the game that you've got something from it.
Yeah, confidence. They need a response. They want respect. Coach Steph Collins will want the players to earn respect now from the opposition and from her for the rest of the way. We spoke pre-game. She won't want to use it as an excuse. They played at home last night and they've travelled up this morning, and that is all part of the day-to-day routines that these top players are having to go through on certain weekends, double-header weekends.
And where's Dan Routledge when you need him? Because thinking about it, 45 and a quarter, that's got to be up there with all-time records for points in a quarter in WBL. We're only in our 9th season of the league, so it is still fairly new and growing. It's definitely going to be up there.
But we can check that. We will get that confirmed during this quarter at half-time for sure.
And the stats haven't updated, so I wonder if the internet just dropped and we're just trying to wait to get the stats up to date. Obviously part of the new BBL initiative of working with an 8-person officiating crew, so you've not just got your referees in table, we're now including stats in that process. Obviously a vital thing for players is to be up to have stats that they can go on to sometimes bigger leagues and take away with them. Some of the juniors helps with recruitment for colleges, so it's a big part of the game and something that the league have done a great job growing and incorporating into the day-to-day.
So we're back underway here at the Copper Box. Hope you're enjoying the action. Myself and Coach Mike Hansen bringing you Cardiff Met Archers versus London Lions. Great movement without the ball. Any young players, just watch the way Saki delivered that back cut, and Shannon Hatch with her extra height was able to make the pass. And Joseph, just too big, too strong there. This time she does make the easy score, Mike.
Yeah, and that'll be the one you want, just to get the confidence going again. And missing a couple you'd want back and getting another layup at the rim.
Nice layup by Hablin there. You like the way she plays, and that's a nice finish.
Yeah, and you can see she's small in this lineup. We've got kind of a Habling-Hatch combination. Really, Habling's the 5 in this group. And only 6 foot, but she's done a good job adjusting as Beckford Norton with a tough take.
She is one heck of an athlete. Nice finish off the glass. Yeah, good attack.
Yeah, and Cardiff now, this is talking about what's the response. It's on the offensive end. Let's get the scoreboard ticking, a little bit more aggressive. The initial back cut from Psyche. Now you get into the line on your 3rd trip of the quarter, and that's just going to help you get that confidence going.
Yeah, and Juncker at the line.
Yeah, Junker's first season as a pro out of a D3 school. Wittenberg, good free throw shooter, 70%, but shot 82% last year in college, so consistent at the line.
That's a good pickup for Cardiff Met Archers, and I guess she's continuing her studies at the university there, doing a master's, and it's fantastic for these players to come overseas, get their first professional contacts and improve their academics as well. Yeah, and
unfortunately the majority of the Cardiff group do play Bucks, and they bowed out at the quarterfinals on Wednesday at home to Newcastle. Obviously Newcastle featuring Katie Nolan and Abigail Lewis from the Eagles lineup, so really strong front court.
Wow, yeah.
And that was a closely contested game. So obviously really 3rd game in 5 days for a lot of these players, with the Bucks game on Wednesday as well.
Thorpe battle, they keep moving it inside. Joseph back outside into the corner. Charles attacks and finishes it with the left hand. Really good attack there from Chantel Charles.
Yeah, and that's the balance. Realised the closeout was coming hard, so I'm going to, instead of shooting an open shot, I'm going to put it on the deck, get all the way into the lane, and it opened up for the layup.
Yeah, smart play. Hatch, catch and shoot. A little bit hurried there for Shannon, but the defense is swarming. What a pass, battle, left hand finish, and again, Zach and Coach with her hands, clapping with her hands above her head. She must be really enjoying this.
Yeah, great look by Beckford Norton to look ahead, see what was going on, and it perfectly executed quarterback type pass as Joseph called for the hand check. But Ty Battle does such a good job. She's a little bit smaller than your traditional 4, but we've seen it all year long in Europe. She's just going to get her head down and just run, be aggressive, ahead of the pack, and easy as you like. But she brings all those little things, Ty Battle, to the team, the stuff that doesn't really show up on the stat sheet necessarily.
Ball's loose and Charles gets it, looking ahead. Really good pass. Thorpe, open shot, and Joseph knocks it down. But they're playing in such a rhythm, Mike, that they're not even having to think too much about what they're doing.
Oh, I made a mistake. I didn't quite catch the ball cleanly. oh well, pick it up, find an open teammate, mate. And Shaquille, 7th Lions triple of the afternoon. That's the confidence they're playing with. Last week has not affected them in the slightest.
No, I think it's improved them. It has narrowed their focus, and they are just playing sensational basketball. Hatch, as is Shannon Hatch. I mean, she's one of the top players in this league and has been the Swiss international for the last 3 seasons or so.
Yeah, and by her stands, a little bit quiet so far, but a nice jumper, hopefully get her going on the offensive end.
Yeah, for the purposes of the game, we want Cardiff Met Archers to really come out there and just play loose. 3 seconds. Shaquille puts it up right at the shot clock buzzer, and better defence from Cardiff Met Archers. They've got a plus out of that defence.
Yeah, and probably the first time we've seen Lions a little bit stagnant on the ball side. The ball didn't really move. It was kind of in the same area, and it made it a little bit easier for Cardiff, and then the pass just a little bit late to Joseph on the pick and pop.
Saki. Screen from Hatch, who rolls. Joseph follows her. Hatch steps out, catch, and shoots. She's got a really quick release, and as you've mentioned, she's got good size, so she can shoot over most defenders.
Yeah, and she's the 3rd leading scorer in the league for a reason.
Vorpal wide open, and that was short, and here comes Cardiff Met Archers on the transition.
That's the one you want to see Bunyan shoot. Have the
Yes.
confidence to knock it down in the corner. You've already made one.
Saki is foul.
Yeah, it's having that confidence, isn't it, as
Head to the line.
foul goes.
2 shots.
Foul called, and Cardiff Met Archers back at the line.
And substitutions coming back into the game. And
Saki is sort of your traditional point guard. I'm talking size-wise, because a lot of the guards now, like Holly Winterburn, they're just getting bigger and taller, more for the modern game. But it's good to see a real quick-fire, traditional size guard.
Yeah, for sure. And again, she's that traditional with the assists as well. Just over 8 assists a game.
Yes.
Obviously can score as well, and has done a good job scoring 15 points a game both this season and last. But it's that combination that everything just runs through a good leader, and she's been a really good addition for the WBBL.
And makes the second.
And Saki hits the second.
So Vorpal, Harrigan, Charles, Azania Stewart, and
Beckford Norton.
Beckford Norton in, and a foul.
Yeah, you can see Cardiff trying to be a little bit more aggressive. That's the second time in this quarter of being aggressive on the catch above the 3-point line, and that's a cheap foul, the one that you'd rather give a foul trying to take the ball away than just trying to reach in from behind on something that's really never going to be there.
Yeah, agreed. And the Lions player was facing away from the basket as well, so
good high-low.
Azania spins back off the glass. Great touch. Nice move from GB International Azania Stewart.
Do we call her GB or do we call her X now with the retirement? That's an off-season debate. But no, it's great to see Azania obviously in her last season domestically, as well as a big rejection.
Yes, get out of here. Not in this house. And she's running the floor as well. And that's gone out of bounds. I assume it's come off Cardiff Met Archers player.
Yeah, indeed it was. As I say, I don't think Shanice is going to pass it 6 foot in between 2 Lions players too often without the touch, but that's the length and the wingspan of Azania Stewart.
Yeah.
It's 6'3", 6'4", but a wingspan that's as, if not bigger, and she just be able to just take so many, or sometimes not even blocks, she affects so many different shots. Her presence and her IQ to be around that stuff is what she does so well.
Yeah, it's over 100 caps for GB, and yes, she has indicated her retirement from international basketball, but what a servant she's been, and of course now pursuing her commentary career, and it's great to have her on the mic doing the London Lions men's games. Maybe when she retires I don't know when she's going to finally retire from playing domestic basketball. We'll have to see what happens there, then she can really focus on the broadcasting side of things. So Lions have slightly calmed down a bit in this second quarter. Is that just them getting into a slightly slower rhythm on offence, or have Cardiff Met Archers stepped it up?
Well, I think it's a bit of both. I think obviously, again, a couple of ball movements, so the line's been a little bit static, but Cardiff definitely got better. But also, I don't think really scoring 42 and a quarter is that sustainable either. So there is always going to be a little bit of a pullback, and that's probably what we're talking about now, is the execution in the half court and keeping that basketball moving, which is really what got them the open looks early on.
Yeah.
Players coming back onto the court for both these teams.
And as for Cardiff Met Archers, you mentioned about Izzy Bunyan in that semi-transition three. She just got to let it go. What's the worst thing can happen? Is missed the shot, but if she makes a couple, then the defence commits out there, and maybe she can get to the basket.
And again, just late on the cut and then coming through the back, and that's a really simple call for the officials. That one on Hatch, so another key play you need to keep out of foul trouble if you're Steph Collins on 2 fouls.
Nice shot by Kiki, and just got a game face on and just knocks down another shot.
Yeah, and she's up to 19.6 of 7 shooting. And again, obviously, the worry for this Lions team is at some point, the expectation is we will lose Kiki, because obviously she's got the WNBA contract. That starts, the training camp starts the day after the opening round of the playoffs. So at some point, we will unfortunately probably lose Kiki unless something changes. So it'll be Lions trying to get things set before she leaves.
Nice job by Izzy Bunyan. That time, no hesitation, knocked it down.
Yeah, and again, Cardiff done a better job on the offensive end this quarter. It's 15 points in the quarter already.
Harrigan squares up, knocks it down. I mean, it's a set shot.
It's too easy.
6'2", 6'3", she can do that.
Yeah, and Hatch is late. Wanted to close out short because she was worried about the foul. She's just been called similar situation, closed out short, and Harrigan's not going to turn down an opening 15-footer.
A smart play by Kiki. Whistle at the other end. And Cardiff Met Archers, they've just got to keep their effort levels up.
I think it's on the fake handoff. Yeah, Zany just on that reaching as she was worried about the handoff, and she knew she fouled.
Hatch from the far corner knocks it down. That's a beautiful looking shot. We got a great view of it, Mike.
Yeah, Hatch 10 points personal. She's really starting to heat up in this quarter, getting some looks.
Winterburn goes left. Underneath, drop-off pass, and look at that from Taylor Murray. All-star 5, and that's all-star effort from London Lions 24, and a smile. And they just look relaxed. They're seeing the game. It's all coming easy to them at the moment.
Yeah, and as much as you want to credit the cut, which is perfectly timed, also credit the pass by Winterburn. Just a perfectly executed bounce pass, but Murray on that, always at weak side 45. You see here so many coaches, junior level, senior level, baseline. They're going to try and take away the corner. It's the 45 cut that's open.
Yeah.
Murray reads it, and she'll go to line to convert another 3-point play. It feels like Lions have converted so many and ones. It's not just we've got to line, it's getting the basket to go as well.
Yeah. Really impressive play from Holly.
And 7 assists already, actually, for Winterburn in 7 minutes.
She's just, she's all action. Nice play. That's good job by Juncker there.
Yeah, and Cardiff's really, it's the off-ball movements really picked up, the cuts and all that stuff that's causing Lions some defensive issues, and no doubt they'll be looking to try and tweak that as the game goes on the defensive end.
Zania Sincina to Azania, mid-range, fakes, goes inside against Marchesotti. Push shot is just off. Good job by the Cardiff Met Archers big there.
Yeah, and Azania just froze her with that little shimmy, that experience, but didn't quite get the hook shot to go. And you can see Stuart and Marchesotti being really physical on top of the 3-point line.
Step through, Marchesotti goes baseline. Hatch. Shot clock running down off the glass for Bunyan, but she's getting some looks, and here comes Murray, bursting down the court. Back to Murray. Steps into the transition 3, and I tell you what, you know what, Kiki, you are a good shooter. You're not just a good shooter, you're a great shooter.
Well, I say she's now 4-5 from downtown, 24 points personal, and it's one of those, why is she going to the WNBA? This is why.
Yeah, and a transition 3 in the WNBA or the WBBL, it's a transition 3. But she's so much confidence fundamentally. Just the footwork is clear to see for any young player. Just catch a little step through and just knocks it down. And
yeah, and that spacing as you move on is always what you need. She can see they're having a good time on the bench there. They're relaxed, and that's what I suppose a 34-point lead allows you to do, is be a little bit more free. But the question going in was, how would this group respond?
Yeah.
Would it cause some fraction? Obviously, there's a lot going on behind the scenes with the coaching change and everything else.
Yep.
And you said it earlier in the broadcast, this has maybe inspired them to get better. And if it has, God luck the rest of the WBBL.
Yeah. Well, we spoke about it a couple of times when I've been with Josh, that the league needs to step up. The other teams need to step up. Gladiators did, and they are stepping up. They've got lots of plans off the court. New arena, bringing in Jamila Thompson from Seven Oaks Suns. And they just played a great game last week. Abby Wolf as well. I mean, so many players played amazing.
And there's some rumours.
Handy, of course.
There's some rumours flying around on the back end that I've heard this week that potentially Caledonia are looking to potentially join Lions in Europe next year.
Well, yeah, why not? Lions potentially will try and get into the EuroLeague if they can. Gladiators going to EuroCup. This is what we want. We want teams with big ambitions to match London Lions. And let's have 4, 5, 6 teams in this WBBL that can all compete.
For sure, and
while
again,
still bringing the young players through as well.
Yeah, and that's the perfect balance of this league. It's the juniors, and obviously Vanya, the GM Jacob Lloyd, who's come in as part of the staff. Their focus is about as much as the development pathway and how they're changing things. Obviously, the public split with Barking Abbey, but the plans for the new academy, the links they've got elsewhere, and how they're going to build is trying to develop players and bring them through from juniors all the way to seniors, like we see across the continents in so many different places.
Yeah, we've got to learn. Bringing the likes of Vanya in, we've got to learn from these other basketball nations where basketball is their number one sport, and so many resources are put into it. 65-29, 2:30 remaining in the second.
I think the stats are even a little bit behind it. The scoreboard's got 66-32 as Lions going back to the line yet again.
You're correct, 66-32. That's the scoreboard in the arena is telling us that 2:25 is correct time-wise. Zania Stewart at the line.
Yeah, and Lions perfect so far from the line. 5 of 5. They shoot the ball pretty well. 76% as a team this year, third in the league. And as always, commentators curse on free throws.
She's had such a storied career. Of course, retired, came back with the Riders. Mark Clark brought her back down here, and what a good place for her to finish her career if this is in fact where she is going to finally hang her boots up.
And Lions a little bit unlucky, just trying to pressure, got a couple of deflections. We saw it with Cardiff early in the game. Yeah. It started with 2 deflections, didn't quite get to steals. Now it's Lions' turn to really get the hands in the passing lanes and disrupt the Archers.
Yeah, Izzy Bunyan with those. Now Izzy catches. Ball's loose, and Zania leans down and gets it. Harrigan.
Why not?
She misses one, just a bit short there, but again, exactly what Coach Kaltsidou will want her to do.
Yeah, for sure, and that's probably one that Kiki traditionally this season hasn't shot. Is the really kind of semi-contested one in transition. As we've got another timeout, I assume with the fouls, because that foul by Moe is going to send Cardiff to the line. But
team fouls. Team fouls for Lions.
But when you're 8 of 9 from the floor, you've got license to shoot one, and the coaches aren't going to be too upset.
No, absolutely. And Harrigan has been sensational today, and it's great to see her play some. Well, she's played 10 minutes, 24 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and she's got an index of 27.
Yeah, and again, it's the other things she does as well. It's she's not just going to shoot the ball, she is going to pass it off. We've seen her, we haven't seen one today, but we've seen her shot blocking ability as well at the rim with that length and that athleticism. She can be in passing lane. She is a perfect all-around player, and it says a lot to the league that this is starting to attract players of this calibre to the league.
Yeah. Well, Kiki's with South Carolina, an NCAA champion, which we know she's very proud of. Second team All-SEC tournament MVP back in 2020. This is all reasonably, it's only a couple of years ago, it's all recent, and she's bringing all that all that good play into the WNBA at Seattle Storm. And now to London Lions. I mean, it is just a real statement pickup for London Lions and for the league, and we hope we can keep hold of her.
Yeah, and obviously having the British passport helps hugely.
Yeah.
But we've got another one coming through, Hannah Jump at Stanford, and already won the NCAA championship once. But obviously will be competitive. They're currently the number 4 overall ranked team in the country, so she'll have a chance, and she'll have the option to do a 5th year or not, but that's another someone that hopefully we'll see in the WBBL coming up, and maybe in a GB jersey this summer. Obviously, she had the England 3-on-3 experience with Shanice over the summer.
Yeah, that was fantastic. With Temi as well.
Free throw is good.
Bentley.
And we see that Savannah Wilkinson, another London junior that's due to come out from SMU this summer. That hopefully, if we can keep those top-level British players when they graduate from college into the league, it's only going to make the league stronger and stronger. Yeah,
and give us better chance when we go into those European journeys and high-low and 6'4" to 6'2" or thereabouts, and very tough for Cardiff Met Archers to guard.
And as much as the assist as Zania, give the assist to the coaching staff with the ATO out the timeout. Yeah. Perfectly drawn up, perfectly executed.
It's starting to come together for Coach Kaltsidou. A lot of physicality there.
Yeah, Marchesotti maybe got away with an elbow.
And that's a long float up for Shanahan.
Yeah, one of Cardiff's most senior players, veteran, been in the league a long time, as Winterburn just can't connect on that pick and roll, and a rare Lions turnover, only their 2nd turnover the entire game, and the other one was a 24-second violation.
Yeah, they're taking care of the ball super sharp today. Bunyan. And good hands from Taylor Murray. And here we go, Winterburn pushes into the last minute, still pushes. Left hand finish, and that's why coaches want you to finish with your left hand from the left side. Bunyan with the foul.
Yeah, 3rd on Bunyan, but that's the experience of Holly Winterburn. And we say that, like, Holly obviously still young and in the growing stage of her career, but learn how to use her body, create the contact, and then separate and get the layup to go. And Holly's done such a terrific job. I remember her making a WBBL debut back in like 2015, and she just continued to grow and grow. Obviously, the year in the States, and now back with the Lions and doing it in Europe as well consistently. Yeah,
nothing seems to faze her, and we'll hear the piece at half-time regarding her, and she's really appreciative of how she's developed with London, with Coach Clark, and now with Kaltsidou. It's just taking her to the next level.
Yeah, and a good 2-for-1 here for the Archers with the shot clock, game clock differential.
And they get what they wanted. Marchesotti with the free throw line jump shot.
And a good, 6-7 second differential's perfect as a coach.
Winterburn pass fakes. 3-pointer is off, and Seiki gets the long rebound off the bounce.
And Cincina's first miss of the afternoon was the perfect 3 of 3, all threes as well.
Murray. They've got time. Winterburn knocks it down from the corner. The smiles, the fist pump, and just fabulous transition play from London Lions.
Yeah, and that's perfectly encapsulates that first half from London. Get steals, get stops, push in transition, find open shooters, and Winterburn's done a terrific job all half long of instead driving, but knows the clock's late and strings it and brings a perfect half for Lions. You can't ask for any more than that.
No, Coach Kaltsidou will be really happy. Bunyan couldn't get out, but they moved it so quickly. Coach said pre-game, we want to score within 8 seconds as much as possible, and that's what happens when it all goes to plan. 71 London Lions, 35 to Cardiff Met Archers.
Again, because the stats are loading, it's 75 points on the board, Graham.
Excuse me, 75. I'm looking at a lot of screens and boxes here. 75-38 is the half-time lead. Mike, your thoughts?
Just textbook. Like everything Lions have wanted, they've got 20 of 24 from 2. It's unbelievable. I mean, and the 4 threes they've missed, all 4 have been wide open and good looks by people. So you talk about it like when you've all put it together, and then from Cardiff, better second quarter. They're considerably more, 25 points in the quarter. And Hatch started to get going. She's up to 10 at half time. Psyche on those cuts has been effective as well. So there's definitely some positives to build on, but for London, everything you wanted from that response they've got in the first half, and the coaching staff will be delighted.
There's your leading scorers: Harrigan 26, Winterburn 12, Sina 9, Hatch 10, Seiki 7, and Juncker 4. Just really impressive play from London Lions, showing why they're top of the league, and with a massive lead at half time here. What can Cardiff Met Archers do in the second half? If you're Steph Collins, what's the key message?
Transition defense is obviously the thing. Lions getting out and running consistently, looking after the ball. The turnovers have hurt them and allowed that transition, and then it's building on the offense. And ultimately, this game you're not worried about now. It's building into future weeks. I believe they've got Sheffield next week. Yeah, Sheffield next week. It's another tough road game. Yep. So it's trying to have some momentum from the end of this game to build into that game.
Yeah, agreed. They've got a lot of work to do, but Steph Collins, part of the GB coaching staff that qualify for Eurobasket and spoke so well pre-game, she's going to have to try and sort things out with her coaching staff. We're going to leave you with some highlights, and then we'll be back in a few minutes for the second half. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to the British Basketball League. Teams up and down the country compete against each other to be crowned British Basketball League champions. We're here to break it down for you, so let's get to it. Each team can have 5 players on the court at any one time, but can sub players on and off throughout the match. Players can shoot for 2 points by attempting a shot from within the 3-point line, or go for 3 points by shooting outside the 3-point line. Free throws are worth 1 point each, and these are shot from the free throw line. Each basketball game is made up of 4 10-minute quarters and can never end in a draw. If the teams are equal on points at the final whistle, we go to overtime. Any fouls or violation of the rules results in possession of the ball being turned over to the opposing team. The attacking team has 24 seconds to take a shot, otherwise a shot clock violation will occur. Once the offensive team crosses the center court line, they cannot go back into their own half. Doing so will result in a backcourt violation. To move the ball around the court, players can pass or dribble. And if a player stops dribbling, they can't just start up again. Doing so would result in a double dribble violation. Traveling is another violation that could see your team turn over possession. This happens when players move with the ball but without dribbling. The only exceptions to this are pivoting with the ball upon possession or taking 2 steps after dribbling. Now lace up your sneakers, take to the court, or come join us in the crowd. This is the British Basketball League. Know our name.
I'm Kiki, and I'm a forward for the London Lions. I attended the University of South Carolina. It was an incredible 4 years. Won a national championship my freshman year. Winning an NCAA championship so early in my college career gave me a lot of confidence because it showed me how much hard work and dedication it takes, to get to that winning level. I was fortunate to play with a lot of great players throughout my years at South Carolina, and I mean, you know, the older players always showed me how to lead, so I feel like that's something that has helped me a lot during that championship run. My senior year, got drafted first round 6th pick to the WNBA, so overall my college experience is great. Being a first round draft pick, I feel like it is a lot of pressure, you know, especially to start off your pro career, but I feel like as long as you're true to who you are and confident in yourself, you know, you don't really pay attention to the pressure as much. My strengths on the court is I can shoot the ball very well, I can put the ball on the floor, love playing defense, and I feel like I'm a great shot blocker. So Mad Kiki came about my senior year in college. I guess I'm a really aggressive player on the court, especially like when I block shots. That gets me very hyped, so you guys will definitely meet Mad Kiki this season. The women's game has evolved tremendously throughout my career. I'm seeing girls in middle school dunking now. Seeing stuff like that gives us, like, you know, a lot of hope for the future. My motivation and my drive comes from, I come from a very small island, you know, moved to the United States when I was young, and just knowing that it's a lot of kids, especially back home, that look up to me and that hasn't had the opportunity, but just to let them know that no matter where you come from, you can still make it. I think it's very important for younger girls to have aspirational women role models in sports, just so they can know that, you know, it's possible and to dream big and to keep working hard and your dreams can come true. Previously, within the last year, my motivation shifted a little bit more. I had a son a year ago, not having, you know, other little kids look up to me anymore. I have one of my own looking up to me. So I mean, I feel like that's kind of shifted my motivation a little bit. Being a mom and being an athlete is very challenging at times, but if you have a bad day on the court or whatever it may be, and you go home and see your little one, I feel like that kind of just brightens up your day. I have a very great support system. So for me, it hasn't, I mean, you know, it gets tough, but for me, it hasn't been too much, you know, that I can't handle because I have a great support system behind me. I'm very excited to join a team that has this long, ongoing winning streak. I feel like we can add tremendously to that, so just to continue winning. I don't feel much pressure to that because I know the work that we put in. We're just looking forward to continuing that streak.
I'm Holly Winterburn, I'm a shooting guard and I play for the London Lions. I think I've always had like an all-round style of game, but I think I've really learned last year to like refine each individual skill, learning more details, learning how to really get open on offense when you're guarded, shoot the ball at a higher percentage, how you have to play defense at that next level. I'm still young, so I've got so many years left, but if I can just keep adding 1% every single year, then I'll be in a good place in a few years. I think my strengths offensively are being able to score in multiple ways, and that's something I worked on a lot over the summer. Being able to score off the dribble, off the cut, off the catch and shoot, just trying to affect the offense in every single way possible. I think I just work really well with people on my team like Kennedy and Kiki and Kat and Z. If the game's on the line and I've got the ball, I'm taking the shot every time. In terms of composure in the last second shot, I think you just got to remember that the basket's the exact same distance and there's still 10 players on the court than there is in the first quarter. So I think just playing every moment like it's the same and not really putting pressure on yourself in that moment. Obviously, you have to, if you need a 3 with 2 seconds left, it's a different type of shot. Make it as normal as possible, and also you've got your teammates around you that are supporting you and they believe in you. I know I'm still young, but my role now is to be the go-to person for whatever the team may need, whether that's points, whether that's leadership, whether that's rebound. Just embracing that role of I've got to be ready every single moment, every single day. No days off. Got to keep my attitude and my professionalism in check all the time. I think it's a really big challenge for me, but it's one that I'm so happy to have been given, and I'm just going to try and do my best in every moment and give back to the club what they're giving to me. I guess there's pressure in the sense to perform to the best I can be, and I hold myself to a high standard, but I don't feel the pressure of other people. I think just keeping myself to a high standard and just making sure I do the right things and put the preparation and the reps in place, and I think I'll be fine. The pressure on the win streak's a funny one because obviously as a competitive person I want to keep it going for as long as possible. I don't want to lose a game ever. But if you look at the bigger picture, we want other teams to beat us because that means the level of British basketball is growing. If we lose because we played bad, then I'm going to be angry. But if we lose because the other team were better, then it shows we're going in the right direction. But I still don't see us losing this season.
For too long, the old guard has held court. Their rules, their terms, their arena. But what happens when you take something from the streets and put it on display for the world to see? The tide starts to shift. It lets the old guard know exactly who's next and resets the stage for something new. This is street art, showing all season.
Welcome back to the Copper Box. It's London Lions versus Cardiff Met Archers, and what an explosive first half by the London Lions. They are 75-38 up. We're going by the scoreboard in the arena. There's just a slight discrepancy between the live stats and the score on screen. But whichever way it is, Mark, it's a lot of points in 20 minutes.
Oh, sorry, we had a bad offensive quarter. We scored 30 points. I mean, it was clinical. It was the ball movement. It was the transition. It was the defense getting stops and allowing them to run. And then, of course, finding the right option, whether it was at the open three or we're going to close out hard, re-attack, get to line. Yeah. And the amount of times we got and ones as well with great body control. And it was near perfect offensive performance.
Yeah, everybody on the score sheet, but Herbert Harrigan, Kiki, 26 points, who we've just listened to, heard from. I really like that piece. And Holly Winterburn as well, talking about that she's a good shooter. One of her positives, well, she's just a great player all round. 26 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists so far.
Yeah, and a 9 of 10 shooting, and the one she missed was a semi-heat shape, but still a decent looking transition on the three. But again, it's the Lions, the ball movement that created it, and Holly Winterburn, another great piece, 7 assists in 11 minutes as well as 12 points, so she's on for a double-double. And for Lions, it's that last week we're disappointed. You know what? Let's go make a statement.
Yeah.
We aren't going to drop off. We've had a coaching change. We're going to get better, and that's what we've done in the first half. And to be honest, someone was going to be on the recipient of the backlash, and unfortunately for Cardiff, it was them.
Yeah, they've had a tough weekend, but this will battle harden them, hopefully, moving over to Cardiff Met Archers, moving forward. They've got to get some positives out of this second half. Shannon Hatch, as she always is, leading the way, 10 points, but no other stats for her. She normally has a lot of rebounds. She's averaging nearly a double-double this season. Saki with 7 points. Izzy Bunyan's had a couple of good moments as well, but they've just got to keep pushing.
I mean, and that's the thing, you say there's no stats. Well, there's 6 rebounds total that Cardiff got in a half, because Lions barely have missed, and the misses they've got offensive rebounds from.
Yeah,
so
you got it, 1 and 5, yeah.
It's really difficult from that response, but for Cardiff, they'll be much happier with the second quarter offensively. They got some rhythm going, Hatch got going a little bit, Psyche had a couple of cuts, and they got some rhythm. 22, 23 point quarter they'll be happy with.
Yeah.
So it's now, can you maintain that and then throw in some stops, because it is about building for what's on, because this game's ultimately, they're not going to win, but it's, can you close the gap, build some confidence going into next week, because when you play Leicester and Seven Oaks, Leicester and London, who do you not want on your schedule next? Sheffield. Oh dear, that's where they are next week. So it's about trying to get through this tough stretch, and then can they make the playoffs at the end of the season?
I was at the Oakland-Sheffield Hatters game last night, and it was close. Third quarter, and then Sheffield Hatters just pulled away. They just had too much experience, and skill level is really high as well. But just looking at the Lions shooting stats, 29 of 37 from the field, 20 of 24 from 2, 9 of 13 from 3. That is just sensational. And as you say, if they keep moving the ball and shooting the ball at early opportunities, who knows where this score might finish. Yeah,
and just a warning for those of you at home, there are some graphical issues. In fact, we're going to have an overlay, but the score might be a slight discrepancy. It looks like there's a little bit of an issue with the laptop down for the stats. Cincinnati just doesn't get the roll.
No, but they still get the offensive rebound. Winterburn.
I was more shocked she missed one, to be honest, Graham. That was why the surprise was in my voice.
And there goes Kiki, just playing at her own pace, going where she wants on the floor.
Yeah, and again, probably a career high, definitely not a career high, but definitely a league high for Herbert Harrigan at the half with 26. And she will not let up.
And Shannon Hatch there. Not being shy, not backing away. Continue to play her game. Murray, Winterburn. And the whistle, and two, and Winterburn will be going to the line. Just a great attack, Mike, from Holly Winterburn.
Yeah, and it's the contact late on for the foul. We'll have another look on the replay here. Lions in a lot of open side pick and roll today. It's something I did notice in the first half. They played a lot of that, and then I'm not sure there's a lot on that from that angle.
You can see from Hatch's face.
Yeah, but Winterburn again, and that's what Lions have done. They've made the and-ones today as well. Yeah. It's not go to line for two, it's converting, and that's something they struggled with last week against Caledonia.
Here comes Cardiff. Harrigan says,
that's what we talked about at half-time. What did we say? The one thing we haven't seen from Herbert Harrigan today was blocks. She can affect shots so well, and here she is on Bunyan trying to extend, and a perfectly timed block by Kiki, and that's the all-around ability and the level she's at.
Yeah, and she's just such long arms. I mean, she didn't have to completely slide across there. She just reached across and knocked it out of bounds. So, end-line possession, Marchizotti for Cardiff Met Archers. Attacks. Cincina's there in front of her. Seki is called for a travel.
One ankle broken and one shuffle of the feet. That's what we call that one. The footwork was so nice, but Murray guarded the one that was legal, not the illegal one. So I suppose technically good defence, even though she ended up on the floor.
Yeah, referee John Letzer with the call there. He's had a busy weekend. WBBL Oaklands last night, then the men's D2 game at Oaklands. Oaklands winning that. D2 men as Azania Stewart wins that battle underneath. Nice soft touch, and then John's here today, so busy time for the referees.
And again, that physicality we've got between Stewart and Marchizotti. Marchizotti may have got away with that elbow in the first quarter, but this time Azania just moving her off the spot, and she'll be called for the personal foul. I believe what we kind of slid by us, Graham, was Hatch going to the bench because that was her fourth personal foul. So not only was it a questionable one, that's the fourth. So she's probably done for the quarter, in all honesty. Yeah,
someone else is going to have to step up. Ball's loose, still loose. Seki, nice step through, but and Azania Stewart with the kick. Ooh.
Well, she didn't put her hand up for that one, which I'm going to suggest, knowing Azania, probably means she doesn't necessarily agree.
I'm not sure she could get her hands any higher. Maybe they were just leaning forward slightly.
I think potentially also the body from behind, but that's also why we're not referees, Graham. Is those difficult calls. They do a terrific job on the whole, the officials. They're not going to get everything perfect the same way as no coach coaches a perfect game and no player plays a perfect game. So
agreed, and without the referees and the table officials, the games would not be able to go ahead. So we know within English basketball, British basketball, within the regions, really keen to get referee and table official development, get people qualified, and let's get these games played. And inside, Winterburn getting basket side.
Yeah, and you see
Bianca, tough matchup for her.
And again, that's what Lions have done with that length. They tried to post up some of the smaller Cardiff guards down low. This time, Bianca called for hold. And really nothing to do, because if she lets Winterburn catch it, it's a wide open layup. As they're going to call an illegal screen on Winterburn. Oh no, they're going to call a push on Marchizotti. Initially he called offensive, but correct call. Marchizotti was trying to run through the Winterburn screen to stay with Stewart, and Holly did a good job. And that's a great call by the officials. And we'll probably see it again here once we pan out. As Winterburn's going to set that initial screen, it looks like, and that's the one Marchizotti ran through. If we get the same set, indeed we do.
Yeah. And double screen, and then Holly breaking to the corner, and that is picture perfect for London Lions.
And again, execution from practice to game, new set, new something they've been working on, executed perfectly. Wide open three as Taylor Murray gets it done on the defensive end.
Yeah, Murray is just so quick and finishes with an easy left-hand layup. And again, they just seem to have a number of gears today beyond overdrive.
Yeah, and Taylor Murray's been a terrific addition. Again, hand in the passing lane. She'll get another one here with the assist by Winterburn. Timeout, Steph, but Taylor Murray's done a terrific job. First season, last year she was in Norrköping in the Swedish league. Finals, won it all late on, and she was terrific at the back end of the year. And as soon as I found out she was coming, I said to coaches and people around the league, what a terrific pickup she'd be, because her defensive intensity is relentless, and you see it there, back-to-back steals, and able to get out in transition and keep the points ticking over.
Cardiff Met Archers in real trouble here. Juncker just not able to deal with the ball handling duties, and Murray pounced. A couple of back-to-back layups for her. But I really like that out-of-bounds play, and I love the way you described what had happened and what was about to happen. But it was the extra screen as well from Winterburn before she broke to the corner.
Yeah, I tried not to give away everything. Because obviously I'm lucky enough to be in a position where I was able to just catch a bit of practice basically on lunch break at work on Thursday. But yeah, I don't want to give too much. People at home can see it. It's the multiple layers of the screen, and Lions have done a terrific job all day of executing up to 89 points. And it's a really dominant percentage. They're going to break 100 through three quarters of them, and hopefully we can get some confirmation of a record down Routledge. Anyone watching home, if you know what points per game record in the WBBL is, please let us know, because we could be seeing history today.
Yeah, we saw history last week with Lions losing by 1. This is history at the other end of the scale. How many points are Lions going to get? Because if they really want to keep pushing, keep their big hitters on the floor, the sky's the limit with the scores here, because everybody's on the same page for sure on both sides of the ball, offense and defense.
Indeed, and the lead nearly up to 50. It's 48, and again a much needed timeout by Steph Collins, because Lions have just dominated out the quarter break.
And blocked again by Harrigan, not in this house.
And second block of the quarter by Kiki, and again, anything she can do on the offensive end, she's going to put the same effort in defensively. Perfectly timed on Habling.
Yeah.
And Cardiff now 8 to work with off the out of bounds.
Off the glass for Bunyan, bit strong. Here comes Murray. Pushes ahead. Winterburn. Cincinnati went to the hoop. She's just waiting to see what's happening next. Inside Harrigan. See her post play now. Little pass through, layup to Zania Stewart, and that's just perfect play. Perfect team play.
Yeah, Marchizotti thought she's going to need to help Habling guarding Kiki, and then she just made the perfect read. Great cut by Stewart, and an easy as you like. Another layup for the Lions.
Marchizotti in the post now against Cincinnati. Ball knocked loose. Harrigan in the open floor, one-on-one. Foul, and can't quite get it to go. But it's team offense, but it's team defense as well. One player's deflecting, another player's picking up the steal, and they're off and running.
Yeah, and that time Lions did it on the switch. That was a matchup Marchizotti would have loved, having Cincinnati, a smaller body, trying to back her down, and that experience just to poke the ball away when at the perfect time. Ball falls into Kiki's hands, and she's going to always go in transition, be aggressive, and doesn't quite get the free throw to go. But that's the flow of Lions. Get defense, let the offense have easy layups.
Yeah. It's a lot less stress when you can if you're just running in layups and they're making their free throws. It's a really impressive performance. And we've got front row seats to it, and Cardiff Met Archers players are even closer to it. There's the trap there. They're just trying everything. The game is won, but now Lions can put in some more layers of their defense.
Yeah, and when we saw the press, it really didn't work against Caledonia. That was credit to Caledonia. They did a terrific job last week as Marchizotti this time trapped. But it's at levels and trying to get better, because there's going to be tougher tests ahead.
Yeah, most definitely in the WBBL, and the shots up and in. Shooter's touch for Bunyan, but again she called it and shot the ball immediately.
Yeah, and that's the confidence of Bunyan. That's the one we wanted to shoot in the first half. The one she turned down. It's seeing she's open, having confidence. Okay, little shooter's roll this time.
Nice pass back to Stewart, and just can't get it to go, but that was lovely read from Cincinnati.
Yeah, perfect. Just Stewart just to pop as well, knowing the drive was coming. Give to space in case the layup was there.
Ball gets a little bit stuck. Seiki and the ball, look at Zania Stewart leaning down to knock that away into Marchesotti. Nice fake. That's what Seiki's got to do with the bigs. Try and get them off their feet, but she can't get it to go. Winterburn pushing, still pushing. No look, handoff pass. Back to Kiki, step through too much. Rebound off. 2 shots coming.
Yeah, and again, that's so clinical by Taylor Murray. She didn't decide, she had an advantage, but decided it was not quite there to force the reverse layup, dribble it back out, and then Kiki Herber-Harrigan trailing the play, open on the foul line, didn't get the first to go, but back to the foul line for attempts 7 and 8 of the afternoon.
Yeah, I just think this is a real clinic of how to get offense, but nothing forced. It's not I'm going to beat you one-on-one or one-on-two. Every time they're making the correct read, and I hope there's a lot of young players watching this, maybe young coaches as well, and just seeing how the spacing and the reading reacts, and always moving. Going back to the Winterburn screens, as soon as she'd set a screen, she was off to her spot, and it's just making for really aesthetically pleasing basketball.
Indeed. As Cardiff do a good job on the press break, but for them it's now about trying to find some consistency. That's what they haven't done. They've had good moments, but they've not been able to string it together multiple times in a row.
Marchesotti, no, corrects. Gets her pass stolen. Here comes Harrigan. She's full court hesitation. Passes to Cincina, and no one tracking back. And we are heading to 100 very shortly for London Lions.
Yeah, Marchesotti's really struggled this afternoon. She's got nothing going on the offensive end at all. Lions have done a really good job of being physical with her and taking her away from the spots. And there's an offensive foul.
Whistle, and Marchesotti getting a bit frustrated there.
Offensive foul called on.
That'll be her third as well, so she'll have to be careful.
Yeah.
With Hatch already on 4s. Again, Lions going to this bench unit that is, again, just so talented. Obviously just the one starter on the floor in Cincina, but Joseph, Beckford Norton, obviously GB internationals, and then Vorpal and Ty Battle as well. So it's a really strong unit, and that's the depth of this Lions team that they built over the summer in the roster.
Cincina. Handoff, or fake handoff. Inside, back to Joseph. One-footed shot is good. Shaquila Joseph. Nice play by her. Not a bad play to be coming off the bench, as you say. Bunyan spins off one leg. Short.
And again, yeah, just Lions got all this space in transition.
Back outside, wide open three is good. Nothing but net. And according to the scoreboard in the arena, they've reached 100. It's 101-44.
In 26 minutes too.
Yeah.
So it's not like just crossing over. Normally the team gets there, they're getting there 2-3 minutes to go, but Lions, again, terrific. Another steal, chance to go if they want, and Beckford Norton's certainly someone you want pushing the ball if there's room.
Behind the back, wrap around pass, but it goes to Bunyan. You can't quite save it. 101-44, correct score on screen, and wow, that is a quick century.
And now this is the rotation that Steph Collins is forced into. Marchesotti needs a breather. This tempo of the game is so big, so to avoid going with 5 guards, you have to then put Hatch on the floor. She's on 4, so they're going to have to be really careful now with Hatch of not fouling out. And
yeah, they need Shannon Hatch on the court to give them some sort of offensive punch. Nice back cut, but good recovery on defense by Lions. Shots up and just out. Rebound by Battle. Vorpal, always looking to push, directing traffic. Cincina steps out inside. Joseph pivots. Threes up and good for Shanice Beckford Norton, and that's a really good sign for Lions and for GB if she starts knocking threes down.
yeah, it's something she's continually added to her game, shooting it a little bit below last year at 29%, but again, just great ball movement as Psyche responds at the other end.
Yeah, nice three early in the offence there. Now Met Archers need a stop. Vorpal. Joseph. Deflected pass. Can Met Archers run? Habling underneath, and nice play by Habling.
Yeah, it's really good composure because she was aware that Shanice was going to try and time it to shot block, so she changed the rhythm of her steps and got the layup to go as Beckford Norton gets rejected by Molly James.
Yeah, Molly James with the block. Not in this house, she says to Beckford Norton. Vorpal, screen by Battle. Inside, Joseph turns and gets the second rebound. Good job by Shaquila.
And that's where Margizotti out the game. Lions have realised now the paint is ours. Now we can really be physical to dictate. So Joseph's got someone like Habling on a little bit stronger, a little bit bigger, and that's the matchup they're definitely looking to go to at the moment.
James, Hatch, free throw line jump shot is short. Beckford Norton, big steps and fouled. She's just raw power and athleticism.
Yeah, and I think she got a little bit lucky there. To me, she was a little bit out of control. James didn't do a lot wrong. There's not a lot of contact there, and Shanice just goes up and goes, going to try and make the circus shot anyway. And to be honest, the way today's gone, it almost feels like it's surprised it hasn't dropped. But here's the change. Like Steph Collins has seen it. Habling's really struggling, so Margizotti has to shorten the breather, get back in the game, because you just can't be picked apart in that way. And it's definitely a learning curve for Habling, who's only young as well, developing. Obviously, spend time with the Hungarian junior national teams, and she'll potentially, if she's eligible, have 20s this summer.
Yes.
And just trying to grow, but she's done a good job this year. But again, this matchup just a little bit too tough at the moment.
Yeah, and with Lions, with the options they've got all their big players available today. And what I've liked about it for Coach Kaltsidou is she's let them play. She's not thought, well, the leads at 30, and now they're showing their defence. Nice pass, Vorpal as well, and that's sloppy for Vorpal's level by the standards that they've set today. Seiki, shots up and good for three.
And Molly James. Yeah, and say she had a career high yesterday, 13 points off the bench against Leicester, one of her former teams having been at Charnwood. So she's got some rhythm going, and it's good for another young Brit to be stepping up.
Joseph, inside, outside, shots up by Battle is nothing but net, and it's nothing short of excellence for London Lions.
Yeah, and to be honest, probably the biggest criticism the coaching staff are going to have today, missed layups. It's 5 or 6. We're talking about a team that scored 110 points and they missed 5 or 6 layups, and we're still in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's just trying to compute that. Behind the back, Molly again. Fantastic. Good golly.
Yeah, and potentially got away with a little bit of a stray arm. It looks like Vorpal just got caught on the nose. Hopefully she's not bleeding. We had that last week, obviously, with Caledonia.
Yes.
When Jamila got caught in the face and then was unfortunately cut. Vorpal looks like she's okay, but with the shot clock off, Lions coaching staff going to talk it over and really draw something for a last offense. Because again, new coach, this is another opportunity to learn and grow. What do we want when the clock's running out? Shot clock's off, what type of look do we want to create?
At the end of this quarter, make sure that you are ready to
and it's these moments, hearing Coach Kaltsidou's voice, and for the assistant coach, you've got some great British assistant coaches on that bench as well. Laura Milligan, who's come across from Oakland. You mentioned Jacob Lloyd. I know Jacob's dad, Mark. I mean, the family have always been in basketball, and of course Coach Lavinia as well.
Yeah, and obviously they've added Gary Maitland on the skills side as well, so the coaching staff done a really good job, and it'll be interesting to see where Lions go to grow this coaching staff out. Obviously Lauren's the new addition this year in terms of on the female side and trying to develop her. She's only in her second year coaching, also doing a terrific job with the London Lions second team, and she's growing, and she to see her grow and develop has been really good this year, and we've had to have some conversations about that, and she's hungry, and hopefully she wants to be part of the GB Juniors again this summer.
Yes.
And she'll definitely get an opportunity with Lions trying to grow and develop not just the players but the academy and now the coaching staff as well.
Yeah, I mean, speaking with her, she's absolutely loving it. She's loved her European travels as well. I mean, what great exposure for these young coaches. And Gary Maitland, what a really good guy he is. I've got a chance to chat with him after one of the European games, and along with Duncan Ogilvie, who I know from many years ago at Ware when he was a junior. And
Big Duncan, as we call him at UEL.
He was a great player, and just injury cut his playing career short. But he's got himself in the, as we see, Molly James again, she's scoring, she's defending.
Yeah, and that's definitely not what Lions wanted out of that timeout. I think they were probably going to try and hold for one, but Vorpal maybe didn't quite understand the message and turned it over. But Lions' terrific defence, and Cardiff won't get a look to convert on the mistake.
No, that's not Coach Kaltsidou. But hey, there's going to be some growing pains. They're trying to grow something special. There's the scores by quarter, 42-16. Lions have just scored in that third, 42-10 and 32-25 in the second. They're not slowing down.
Yeah, I think that matters a little off. I think it's 75-38 at half time, so that would make it 35 in the third.
Okay.
So, but again, you look at that on pace for 140, 145. We're talking record breaking, and that's going to be pleasing for this Lions staff in the bounce back.
Yeah, absolutely. And
oh, we've got free t-shirts.
Are they going to? Why don't they ever throw them this way? Come on.
Oh, shocking in there. You got Rashay Walton, obviously, in the ops role, trying to head up that stuff. And again, Sunday afternoon, solo game, no BBL doubleheader. We'll have one next week with the BBL doubleheader. But it's still, again, in the copper box, it looks like a bad crowd, but it's still a good crowd, couple of hundred in, and making steps forward on that side as well.
Yeah, as we look at some of the highlights, and Shanice Bedford-Norton knocking down the three. We know her defence, we know her athleticism, mid-range. If she can start stepping back as well, giving Lions another option there, that can only be good for the team.
Yeah, indeed. And again, the depth of those British players. We see one of the lucky recipients of the T-shirt. I think he's happy. Yeah, I think he's happy. I'm trying to work that out. But yeah, obviously, again, getting a crowd, and obviously we've got the doubleheader next week. Yeah. Look, the women hosting Oakland, and the men have got Caledonia, I believe, who have got a really tough week. They've got Derby BBL Trophy semi-final Wednesday. They're at Surrey Sports Park Saturday before coming here. Yeah. So Caledonia, busy road schedule coming up. But obviously the Lions again with that doubleheader, and the Oakland's Wolves, who obviously you saw yesterday. Yeah. The addition of Beth Sarson now with her.
That's big. She got put some decent numbers up last night. So Oakland's Wolves, that academy, my two sons attend there, and it's a place close to my heart. So I just want a great game, and can Oakland's Wolves with the Grace and Cassidy and Georgia, they're going to be in for one heck of a challenge next week with the way this London Lions team are playing. Yeah, if they carry this on, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, no, as that extra senior for Torn, the Oakland staff's going to be huge, because the youngsters are still developing. They've had a bit of a rough year. Yeah. But to come into a venue like this with an extra senior is going to help them. And obviously Beth's seen London in the cup final a few weeks ago for Leicester.
Nice job by Marchessotti, but can't get it to go. Joseph gets the rebound. So that's next Sunday, double header. Make sure you get your tickets or get on the stream, but get down into the copper box, because it's a great event. The people on the sidelines from Lions with the free t-shirts and the halftime shootouts and cheerleaders and everything you need as we get a double dribble, I think called.
I think she put two hands on the ball, which is obviously is called a double dribble, but yeah, it's an odd one to have a double dribble rather than someone traditionally picking it up and bouncing again. Both hands on the ball by Vopal.
Yeah, so if you want to do something, get something going on a Sunday, come down to Stratford, the Copper Box. Great. You've got Hackney Wick just down the road. You can come and watch two top-level games with the family. Get people introduced, get the young people introduced to this fantastic sport. Vorpal, who must have been introduced to the game at a young age. She has played at a high level for a long time. Marchessotti. James in the corner, just getting away from Beckford-Norton, back to Marchessotti, little push shot, and that's nice interchange there from the two Met Archer players.
Yeah, and Marchesotti's been quiet, but just to get that little foul line, this is all it is for Cardiff now. It's trying to build momentum, trying to get something to work and build into that next week's game, as Charles in on the duck in. Again, we've seen that numerous times from Lions, trying to duck in on some of the guards and wings, but Cardiff do a pretty good job this time of collapsing.
Beckford-Norton underneath battle. And good job by Shannon Hatch. Hands straight up, and foul called on Shaquila Joseph.
Yeah, she went in with two hands like a little hug, but Lions have got a little bit sloppy by their standards. So I wonder if I wonder if that's something now that's making sure they don't lose momentum as well. Because we talked about Cardiff trying to find momentum. It's important London don't get to lose it. We're 2 weeks away from the WBBL Trophy semi-final. We've got Sheffield and that won't be an easy task. And obviously Lions are trying to think clean sweep, so they've got some work to do the rest of the season. Yeah, and they want the players coming off the bench to be keeping up the high levels as well, and they'd be wanting to come in for some court time. Vorpal with the foul and nice crossover by Seiki. She's kept going. She's not let her head drop. You just kind of don't see on the replay, but you see Vorpal with the swipe down. Not sure if she makes contact or not. Tough to tell from that baseline angle and what the referee saw, but it's that little hesitation. That's what she's so good at, that change of speed, change of direction. And I know guards always find it difficult to guard Psyche week in, week out. So
first one is good at the line.
The fact that we're thinking she's got a bad game and she's got 12 points, four assists is something.
That's still decent level, but it's been an onslaught from Lions for the bulk of this game.
Yeah, and it's again 2.5 minutes scoreless. Feels just bizarre the way today's gone for them, as Joseph trapped and again looking for options, but Cardiff have done a lot better this quarter with the defensive energy.
Yeah, they're making Lions have to play more in the half court. Charles outside, Beckford Norton short for three, rebound, ball's loose, Joseph gets it, Charles gets it, keeps it, Beckford Norton off her feet, but a foul first by Lauren Seiki.
Yeah, and again, Lions are still able to just make little mistakes and just find a way to make a play, to come up with the loose ball, to make the extra pass to kick it out. And then Cardiff, who've really done a good defensive job, just see the loose ball just a quarter of a second late, and there's your foul.
Yeah. Sideline inbound from Ty Battle. And still, Saki and Vorpal lets her go.
Yeah, and it's another turnover. It's the third turnover of the quarter by the Lions. So this unit really struggling, but I suppose if you're going to struggle, do it up 50.
Yeah, it's all relative. Battle stepped into jump shot off left, but again Beckford Norton carried on. She knew she'd miss, so she went in for the rebound. Joseph. Beckford Norton. Shots up from Charles, a little bit flat from her hand. And possession is going to the Met Archers, much to the disgruntlement of Vorpal.
Yeah, it looked like she just came from behind and knocked it loose, and she was hoping referee gave to that deflection off the ball from Carrie's hand, and she kind of knocked it down into the hand, but you very rarely see those calls. They're ones you need replay at 0.25 speed and to see 6 times.
Shannon Hatch just off. Joseph.
Let's go Lions.
Vorpal, crossover, attacks, underhand, right hand layup at pace, unstoppable.
Yeah, and that's the transition offense. If you're struggling in the half court, what's the best way to score? Get yourself either to the foul line or get yourself out in transition, and that time no one picks up the ball again from the Archers. And now we're going to have a chance to run again off this turnover.
Yeah, and I think they should keep running. I just think they look better in transition and semi-transition. Joseph. Beckford Norton steps into a three and knocks down the three and holds that follow through. Just perfection.
And there again, Shanice, fourth line in double digits, up to 14 points personal. Probably a little bit more than that as well, because obviously we are having the live stats lag a little bit today. But yeah, it's been clinical, and that's what Lions need. Just 2 rough minutes. Okay, now we need to keep it up again, and they've got the talent to be able to do so.
Yeah, and they've done that themselves without coach having to call a timeout. They've shook themselves down and got going again. Vorpal with the transition layup, and then nice half-court play. And Shanice Beckford Norton with the 3.
Yeah, and for Lions, it's all about the details.
Yeah.
Because again, it will come. It's possible. We know how quickly things move. We're 6-7 months away from EuroLeague qualifiers. They've said that's what they're aiming to be in next year, and that's going to come. So you're going to have to use these 2-3 months to build, because we know some people are going to take time off, go to national teams and do everything. And obviously there'll be some roster changes, but what Lions have done in the past, they've tried to keep the core group together. We expect that the summer will look something similar. Core group, few new tweaks, so this group will have a base when they arrive in pre-season, late August, early September, to build on, because EuroLeague qualifiers will be right around the corner.
Yeah, and that's going to be a massive step up again. And they're 2 seasons in Eurocup, made the playoffs both times to the round of 32. But this organisation now, they want to be pushing deep into playoffs. And they're going to have to recruit more, aren't they? We're not sure what's happening with Harrigan, as you mentioned, with the WNBA situation. They definitely need her, so they're going to maybe need to recruit a couple of more big stars.
And we say that with the national team playing, sitting out on the on the way they rotate the non-Brits, because you only allowed 4. They've got 5 on the squad.
Yeah.
So you've got Paulina Hurstler just sitting on the bench today. You had Kat Sincina last week sitting out. So they've got that rotation going at the moment. That rotation does have to come to an end soon. So Vanya, the GM, and the coaching staff will have to make a decision in next week or so where they're going with that roster change. But that's the depth of this Lions team.
Nice play. Assist by Bunyan, and Seiki just catches and shoots the 3.
Yeah, and she's up to 16 points personal on the afternoon. So not a bad showing by the point guard.
Holly Winterburn back in. Good rebound by Murray. They've just shaken things up a bit with the line-up Lions. Sheila Joseph looked at battle, but that wasn't on. Needs to go up, and Hatch with the steal. Back to Hatch. And Murray gets back. That was sloppy at the end there by Murray trying to find Winterburn. Yeah,
just Hatch just gambled on that angle, and we'll have another look at the replay. Ooh, Murray maybe a little bit unlucky there to get called for foul, but that's a really difficult one for the referees because it's a live ball transition. None of them in that position on the baseline where they got their angle. So you could see even on the screen there, you had the referee that normally be sent under the basket. Behind the play, so he has to take a bit of an educated guess, and generally we all know if you're going to reach, you're probably going to get called for the foul.
And 2 out of 2 at the line for Shannon Hatch.
So Murray.
And that elevator screen, second time we've seen that back-to-back possessions.
Yeah, beautiful 3 from Holly Winterburn. And we'll come back to you shortly in relation to the details of an elevator screen. There's so much technical detail goes into these high-level teams. I've done commentary with Tor Freeman as well, and working with Tor is similar, very similar to working with you. You're both so knowledgeable, both young coaches, and you're so knowledgeable of British basketball and all the technology in coaching. Shots up for Hatch, just long.
Yeah, and Lions showing some zone as well, so something else they're going to look to work on and develop is that 2-3 zone. Saw that from the baseline.
Vorpal inside, deflected by Marchiotti, with Shaquila Joseph in the post.
And talking to former Oakland's people, Lizzie Harrison now on the social team, and obviously Lions have been nominated for a big social media award as well for their work. Oliver Emery heading up that team, but people like Lizzie on the women's side done a terrific job this year as well, putting out better content for fans to engage with week in, week out.
Winterburn steps back and knocks it down, and that's just wonderful play. She comes in and it's an immediate massive step up in offense.
Yeah, and again now Vorpal with the steal, going to get the layup to go, and this is how quickly Lions can turn it on, just turn it up a little bit in the press. Nearly another Cardiff turnover in transition, but Lions again slightly below par. Let's just step it up and go again.
Yeah, I mean Vorpal's made that layup, Winterburn comes in, hits the 3s, and the defense follows on. But you're right, they really are professionalising everything off the court as well here. And Lizzie, great player at US College and at Oakland's, and for a number of years now exploring her social media career and camera work. She was just here a moment ago. I'm not sure she was taking pictures of us though.
No, I think getting some of those sky shots from this obviously concourse level at the Copper Box. And we'll see those tonight or tomorrow morning on Lions social channels.
Push shot, no good. Battle, too much defence there. Just over 4 minutes remaining. Murray to Beckford Norton. Now they're starting to move it side to side, much better. Joseph, Beckford Norton. Joseph, bounce pass, Battle, backs in, misses, gets a rebound and puts it in. And the pace of play, everything's just stepped up a notch.
Yeah, it's that, and the relentless energy. It doesn't matter what the score is. I need this offensive rebound. Like, there's some urgency to it. Battle.
Whoa!
With a big rejection. Gets the call as well.
Holy cow. That's huge. And it comes off Izzy Bunyan. And that's a harsh lesson for young Izzy to learn. But the ball was available and it got swiped away.
Yeah, and she just thought she'd got past Battle, but the length, the timing of it. Ty, obviously, first season from Delaware, known as someone that could block shots, and you saw the athleticism there, and the ball just running off Bunyan's leg, but terrific play in that. But that's it. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard is, doesn't matter how long left. Lions have got something to prove and play with some urgency.
A little up and under layup by Beckford Norton doesn't go in, but they retain possession. 3:37 remaining here at the Copper Box. Hope you're enjoying the action. Some fantastic offense from London Lions, and Cardiff Met Archers have carried on playing the best they can with what they've got. They've got players in foul trouble. They've got young players. You've got Izzy Bunyan here, a star and a future star for this ball club and for GB. It's a steep learning curve for young players like Izzy.
Yeah, and obviously she's off to Montana State, Big Sky. They won their conference championship yesterday. She's going into a top program, so she'll have battles like this consistently in that region.
Wow. And UC Irvine's and West Virginia's one of their finest. Seiki with that three. Charles, they just move it around. Murray.
Is there too much ball movement? Is that a thing? Well,
who's going to shoot it? Chantel with a one-hand pass, and now Murray gets open and they get the finish. And it's nice to see them move it from one side of the floor to the other.
Yeah. And just thanks to John Hobbs, who has reminded me that I've already seen the highest scoring WBBL performance ever, which was Sheffield Hatters in the trophy against Ipswich in the first round in January at Essex. That was 137. So the Lions have got a shot at that in the last 2.5 minutes.
Seiki with the shot and the miss, and depends how much up tempo they want to play.
Well, quite a lot by the looks of it, Graham.
Oh, and I think Shanice's going to get her own pass, but she's lost it.
Going to say it's probably a travel because she passed it to herself, but
and a nice elbow jump shot.
One of those odd ones you don't see very often.
And Shanahan with the elbow jump shot in transition. Nice play by Cardiff Met Archers, who are continuing to play hard. They've got to keep building. They've got some big games ahead. They want to get in the playoffs. They're in the 8th spot at the moment. Again, sloppy from Battle. Good play, just couldn't get it to finish.
Yeah, but a lovely pass by Taylor Murray. We saw it in the first half with the Winterburn dime, and we've seen it so many times, the ball movement, just the circle rotation on it, from the big moving to be open, and sadly that time Battle not quite making the layup.
Oh, now the good music's being played as well.
Yeah, and I say this is the song that's definitely been picked up by generally with the Lions on the guys' side this year. The Lions fan base ever growing. It has been going to be a staple, I think, of the Copper Box coming for a few years.
The Lions sleeps tonight. Well, they haven't been sleeping today, that's for sure. They have been wide awake.
Yeah.
129 to 70.
And there's another steal.
And Charles pushes ahead to Murray. Murray brings it back out, all the way across to Beckford Norton. Charles has a think about the shot. Joseph will shoot, and it's long. And they steal it back, but it's foul called.
And that'll be 2 shots as well. Lions in the penalty. And again, Lions season high 123 against Newcastle the week before the WBBL Cup final. So obviously another high scoring account for Lions, and against the WBBL team 129 could well be the record of the Ipswich, who Sheffield played in the trophy WNBL team. And to be fair, credit to Ipswich in that game as well. They decided rather than trying to slow the game down, they just played Ipswich basketball, which means anyone that's watched Nick Drain's teams 100 miles an hour. But yeah, for Lions, they'll be content with this. Obviously, fourth quarter's got a little bit sloppy, but up 50, kind of that player mentality does kind of draw in a little bit. But they'll look to build, obviously, with the Oakland's game next week, and then obviously the WBBL Trophy semi-finals. They look for the clean sweep against the Sheffield Hatters in a couple of weeks' time.
On the 12th, which is going to be at Oakland's Academy in St Albans. In Hearts, great job by Taylor Murray.
Charles.
Yeah, obviously Copper Box or UBL, which is Lions' backup venue, obviously unavailable with the short notice of the trophy game needing to go in. So that obviously kind of a Lions home game, but home just outside the M25.
Well, they played there previously. They've had one other previous game
against Sheffield, ironically.
I think, yes.
That was Cup game. Yeah, Cup quarter-final. So yeah, Sheffield avoiding the Copper Box this year in somewhat circumstances. But that game, obviously, Lions turned Oakland's into home court and scored 100 something of their own. So
there's a turnover from the Hatters. Well, it's less travel for Hatters. Won't mind going to St Albans as opposed to coming here. It's a lot shorter journey for them. So we look forward to that one. And next week against Oakland Wolves, then Hatters. It's pretty much every Sunday. London Lions are playing for the next month or so.
And that's what happens when you don't play at home. We were talking about it last week. It's Lions' third domestic home game of the season last week. So they've obviously got the back end to catch up. Obviously a very heavy travel schedule early in the year domestically, and obviously with the trips to France and Italy as well in the Euro Cup as Battle knocks down what we assume will be the final bucket of the day for the Lions.
Yeah, if Cardiff Met Archers are just going to run this out. That was a nice finish by Battle. And Shannon Hatch just nails the three. A little shake of the head. And she just increases her personal stats. And it's game over. 133 to 75. The London Lions have put to bed and forgotten last week's dramatic loss to the Gladiators. And they've come out firing an incredible first quarter. 42-10, and they never look back. Mike, it's really impressive from start to finish with a couple of slowdowns during the game, but you expect that.
Yeah, we expect that, the missed layups, and that's the thing that's scary for the rest of the league. You're watching this game, Lions got 133 on the board and probably left 12 to 15 points in just open layups on the board.
Yeah.
So where this team can go, and obviously Cardiff, tough double header, probably a little bit below par, but credit to Lions, they didn't give them a look in from minute one.
No, 133-75 confirmed score. London Lions stay at the top of the WBBL, and it's been a really impressive performance. Cecina 11 points, but she started the three-point party with 2 threes early on. She was 3 of 5. Winterburn 4 of 6, and Kiki Harrigan 4 of 5. 31 points in 18 minutes.
Yeah, and 7 assists. 7 rebounds, 3 assists, no turnovers, 2 blocks.
Yeah,
like all across the lot. Kiki was terrific today. Obviously, both ends of the floor, and obviously with a couple of minor stats as well. There will be some stats added, and they'll work through the floors afterwards. So some of that will change. Winterburn again felt quiet, and then she had the threes late on in the fourth quarter, but 24 and 8. I think 5 lines in double digits. Joseph on 9, Vorpal on 8. So that's the depth and the talent of the Lions roster, and they were clinical, and the shooting percentages say all you need. 72% from 2, 61% from 3.
Yeah, just fantastic. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure bringing the game to you today with Mike Hansen. Mike, thanks for all your input. It's been great. We'll do it again next week when Oakland's Wolves are in town. But watch out, the Lions may sleep tonight, but they weren't sleeping at 12:30 today. Massive win for them against the Cardiff Met Archers. We'll leave you with the highlights. Enjoy the rest of your day.